Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Mojave Diamonds movie. It's a crime movie. It's a bit convoluted. It kind of goes off the rails at the trailer, but I think it could be interesting. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 11 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Speaking of which, I will be at the Florence Library today in Roebling at 6:30 for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Stop by. All right. So he's an MMA fighter, and it starts off pretty typical, like he's doing some illegal fights kind of thing, and the gangster on the left places a bet, and he messes up and loses the fight or throws the fight. I'm not sure. And they used a bunch of UFC guys to be the characters, which is kind of interesting. So to make it up to the gangster, he's got to raise the money. And so he agrees to smuggle $50 million worth of diamonds. All right, you following? You following? He has two brothers. One is a family man, the other is a young guy, single. He brings the younger brother with him on the trip to smuggle diamonds, and then they get robbed. So here's the guy smuggling the diamonds, and they get robbed. So the gangster is mad that his diamonds are gone. I guess he's the same guy smuggling, I think. So that's the way he thought to make it up to him. So he takes his brother's family hostage since he doesn't have. It's three brothers. Remember Rick and Morty? Two brothers. It's kind of like that. It's two brothers. Except it's three brothers. So they rob the diamonds. Then somebody does, and then the gangster kidnaps his family as collateral. So then the third brother gets involved. Oh, let's go get my family. And they're going to get the diamonds too, I guess, against all these guys. So basically it just sounds like an excuse for these UFC guys to kill a bunch of people and act heroically. I mean, I've seen worse. It's a bit convoluted. That's slightly too many elements, I think. I mean, it would have been perfectly fine if it was just a movie about a guy throwing a fight. We've seen that before. But that would have required lots of acting. This apparently requires lots of stunts, which would be in the wheelhouse of these guys. So, and there's lots of wrestling and gunfights and fist fights. And I don't know, is he a fighter too? He might be one of the fighters. He's pretty huge. So this is direct to DVD and digital. So this is not getting a theatrical release, which is kind of a shame because there's lots of action in it, right? Action on the big screen tends to look pretty good. Where are these guys? They've got some sort of armed compound here. It's interesting. It's supposed to be Mojave Diamonds, like the Mojave Desert. This looks like a lot of weapons. I don't know. Is this like a cartel compound they've created? Here he is at the end of the movie, invading the gangster's mansion. So it's the brothers have to save their family, and they're going to make $50 million. But like, they've set the events up in such a way, well, we're not really in this for the money. We've sort of been forced into it, kind of thing. So I assume at the end of this movie, they get $50 million worth of diamonds, and then it's like, well, all's well that ends well, huh, fellas? I guess. For me, I'd probably see this movie simply because, there's lots of gunplay and cool fight scenes. If the plot just kind of barely holds together, I'll finish the movie. This guy's wearing too much makeup, I think. Doesn't he look like he's wearing a ton of makeup? Again, is he another fighter? He's a pretty big guy too. Did they just go to the UFC and say, "Hey guys, we're going to build a movie around you. Who wants to be in a movie?" And they all went, "Oh, okay." And then and then they just all wrote parts for them. That would be kind of cool. That's the way I would do it. And then give them all a big scene, a big fight scene where we'll put these guns away so we can flex our muscles and punch each other. I mean, it's a manly movie, you got to admit. It's manly. I certainly don't think it's woke. So it's got that going for it. They seem to be able to scowl correctly. I mean, what more do you want in an action movie? This is a guy's movie, right? There's almost nothing in this for women. It's not going to be about relationships. There'll be like one scene with the family. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice family. Oh, then there was so much shooting. But that's fine. Guys can have movies. So this is definitely a guy's movie. Mojave Diamonds, I don't know about that title. I thought it was going to be about a heist. I mean, diamonds are in it. But it's like, that's not even the focus of the movie. Really. I mean, the movie starts way before the diamonds are kind of like an added element. But I guess they needed a title. I mean, it sounds kind of cool, I guess. Mojave Diamonds, rated R. So there are three brothers. First act, the fighting brother gets in trouble with the gangsters because he either loses a fight or throws a fight. I'm not sure which. I think he drops his guard and the guy knocks him out, and that messes it up. So that's the first act, and then the gangster says, "You owe me money. You're going to do this job or I'll kill you." So the guy says, "Okay." So he's getting ready to do the job in Act 2. And for some reason, he involves his younger brother. His younger, slightly handsomer brother, who I suspect is the actor and like one of the actors in the movie. Because typically, if you got a bunch of non-actors in a movie, you want to throw in a few actual actors so they could be there to actually do the emotional scenes or, kind of help out the non-actors a little bit. Because if you have some actors on the set and the non-actors are trying to act, they're going to look to the actors, right? So, but they don't have to do a tremendous amount. I don't want you to think there has to be a tremendous amount of acting in a movie like this. It's mostly the action. Anyhow, for some reason he drags his brother into it, which is already like questionable. Like, why would you drag your brother into that? Oh, I guess you could say he thought it was going to be easy. So he has to smuggle the diamonds, and in the second act. And while smuggling the diamonds, they get robbed. And the guys who rob them kill a bunch of people, but not them. Right? It's always the way in a movie. Oh, we're going to kill everybody. Let's just leave those two heroes alive. Let's not shoot those guys. They'll probably come chase us. They probably won't catch us. So then they got to get the diamonds back. But the moment they get, and for some reason they tell the gangster, I guess they have no choice. So the gangster finds out and immediately takes the third brother's family hostage. And then he gets involved. That's the second brother, or the youngest brother, I should say. He gets involved to save his family. Here he is at the end, fighting the bad guy, Mason. I guess their last name is Mason. And then he fights the bad guy at the end, I guess, for his brother and his family. And that's the third act. They rescue the family, and then, oh, by the way, we have $50 million diamonds now, and we've left a pile of bodies in our wake, but so what? We got $50 million. Let's all go to Mexico. Yay! That would be a funny movie, right? Like the fallout from one of these kinds of movies. Like, you don't see this part of the movie. You just see, like, them trying to spend the $50 million and restart their lives. That would be kind of an interesting movie. Like, they keep turning on the news, seeing news reports of all the destruction they caused, like, in the weeks prior, and cops can't figure out who did it or why all these criminals are dead. That would be kind of a funny movie. I would see that. You could probably make it a comedy. Like, they never get caught. There's like never any danger of that, but it's just like how the characters would, you know, what the post credit scenes are. You know, them buying a house and like their life becomes boring and they kind of miss it. Yeah, remember when we shot those guys? Yeah, I know. Yeah, now I'm taking out the trash. So yeah, I would see this movie. It's totally in my wheelhouse. This is the kind of movie I'd put on almost always, regardless. I mean, like, it has to be so horrible in the trailer that I go, oh, I can't watch this. This looks dumb. There he is again. You know, it would have to be like god awful in the trailer for me not to put it on. I got a pretty low bar for this stuff, as long as the action's cool. And you got UFC fighters, so the action should be cool. At least the fighting, you know, and the shooting. I mean, you know, if you got a halfway decent effects guy, it's kind of hard to screw up that. And they even got some car stunts too. So you got everything I want. I mean, throw in a few topless cheerleaders and I'm there. Yeah, I might watch it. Let's read the write-up here. A former MMA fighter and his brothers must rescue their kidnapped family from a dangerous crime syndicate after $50 million of illegal diamonds gets stolen. Yeah, but like, see, he's in on the diamond smuggling, so that kind of, it's kind of partly his fault. But whatever. I mean, you kind of messed that up, I think. I think the best way to do this would have been he's an MMA fighter and also a former MMA fighter, and he drives a truck, and for whatever reason they decide to smuggle diamonds in his truck and he doesn't know. Or he thought he was smuggling something like, I don't know, something innocuous like lobsters or something stupid like, oh, you're not supposed to carry this, but would you carry it for a friend? Oh yeah, sure. And he didn't know, and like his friend is either killed or he's all mobbed up, and like the trucker didn't know. He's completely oblivious, and then he gets pulled into it. That would make him a little cleaner. Makes him a little there, because he pulls his family in on this, and that part of it, that almost bothers me enough not to see it. But you know, these movies tend to be, you can't analyze them that hard. So Mojave diamonds coming to a computer screen near you, DVD and digital. So look for that. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. Are you not checking us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble? Because we got 2 other videos there. I'm off to the library in Roebling. It's called the Florence Library. I think it's the only one in Roebling. So come on out for that at 6:30 for How to Hunt the Jersey Devil. We'll see you in the next one.